So you want to know about one of the more popular suburbs in all of Phoenix that has a lot of population and entertainment and affordable housing and more? This is the video for you. We are talking about none other than Glendale, Arizona, located in the West Valley. And today we're going to tell you everything you need to know as the ultimate guide when moving or living in Glendale, Arizona. Before we get into it, if you want to give us a call and just bypass the rest of this, we'd be happy to have a conversation with you specifically at your convenience. Go ahead and click on the Calendly link below or reach out to us with the information on the screen, 480-660-5974, and we'll chat with you at your convenience because we're passionate about not just Phoenix, but everything Phoenix, including Glendale. Now in this video, we're going to cover a lot of things about Glendale, including traffic flow. We're going to hop on the map. I'm going to show you specific streets and neighborhoods. We're going to talk about the affordability and the more expensive parts of Glendale, as well as the things to do, the hotspots, and the entertainment. So you don't want to miss a single moment of this video. Be sure to stay tuned until the end, where we'll divulge one of my favorite neighborhoods in all the Phoenix area, located right in Glendale, and how you can own one of those houses that sits on the water. Wait, did he say water? Well, yeah, I know it's a desert, but we have plenty of lakes and we have houses on water, so you can have that waterfront lot with all the toys and the fun that comes with it. Let's dive in. Okay, we hopped over to my computer here on the map. I think map videos are very, very important, guys, because it allows you to see things from a different perspective that a lot of people on YouTube don't do. It gives you a feel for the lay of the land. And we're going to dive into all those things we talked about right now. So on my map here, you can see the greater Phoenix area. That is it in a nutshell. And you can see where the city of Glendale currently lies. So it's an L shape, almost like a backwards L in terms of how it's laid out. And that's just how the city was formed years ago. So you have this northern part of Glendale up by the 101, and then it comes down into the older historical and downtown parts of Glendale we'll cover. And then you have the entertainment district out here, Westgate, etc. And then you get out here and you have some development that's coming along over here. Now, you have Luke Air Force Base over here as well, which we'll cover, but this is the lion's share of Glendale. So what I'm going to do is talk about a little bit of traffic first and foremost, okay? Now, you have the 101 that actually comes right down here through Glendale and then hits through Glendale again as it goes towards the I-10. Now, the I-10 runs all the way out to Los Angeles from here. So it is a major interstate running east to west in America. And it runs right through Phoenix. You can see downtown over here and it runs right through that. But the 101 is the main thoroughfare. Now you have the 60. Now what's interesting about the 60 is the 60 is not an interstate, although it looks like it. Similar to the 101 or the I-10. It actually is a 3-lane road for the most part in most areas that cuts right through here at a diagonal, which is nice because it helps some traffic flow that way up through Sun City and all the way out. But for the most part, it's not a free-flowing interstate till it gets out of the city. So you do have a lot of lights and traffic through here, so it can be congested, although it does give you that diagonal feel throughout the city, as opposed to everything else is laid out in city blocks, in squares, going like this. All right, so that is the traffic flow and how Glendale is kind of laid out. Now, when it comes to traffic, the main thoroughfare that's going to run as a residential road through Glendale is going to be, to no shocker, or shouldn't be at least, Glendale Avenue. That's right, it runs right through the heart, all the way out the L through Glendale. Okay, so that moves pretty well, but so do the other major roads right through here. And the southern border is Camelback Road, the iconic Camelback Road that runs all the way through into the middle of Phoenix and over into Scottsdale in the East Valley. Now, traffic flowing north and south flows the same as east to west through Glendale. It actually, 51st Avenue is over here on the eastern border, and then it goes over to 67th Avenue and it kind of zigzags up to here. So traffic overall in the city of Glendale is going to be about the same going north to south as to east to west, but you do have the benefit of having some interstate activity running through the city borders. Now let's talk about areas. We're gonna go to the north part of Glendale and we'll work down from there. But you look up here, the border, the red dots here, you can still see that where Glendale ends. They're gonna have some of the nicest areas of Glendale be in this north Glendale area. Up here, you can see north of the 101 and just south of the 101. Now, this right here is Union Hills Drive. Then you have Bell Road. And you do have this Arrowhead Mall up in this area that we're gonna get to in a second, but Arrowhead Lakes, okay, a lot of arrowheads and ranch, all going on up in this area. It's a really good area. Now we're going to talk about a couple things to do in just a second, but I just want to give you the lay of the land quickly with respect to the Arrowhead Ranch area. You can see there's man-made lakes running through here, and then there is a mountain, small little mountain area right here in the grand scheme of things that has some hiking and some cool stuff going on there. But as you back out of this north area, you'll start coming down through here. So now we're going to go a little further south into Glendale, into the historic downtown area of Glendale. And guys, this area is nice as well, but it's different. You have a little more multi-family down here, and homes in general are just older. The historic probably gives that away a little bit, but you have downtown Glendale right in this area of Glendale Avenue and 59th. So if I layer this here with some GPS satellite views, you can start to see what is going on. Matter of fact, if I take this guy off and run it right here in the streets, you're going to see the downtown Glendale area and in all of its glory here. You see this little historic area right through here. It's pretty charming, I would say. At the end of the day, there's a lot of construction going on down here in downtown Glendale as well. Parking garages going up, businesses being formed, nice restoration of bridges and things of that nature. So downtown Glendale is actually experiencing a big overhaul right now, and they're trying to revitalize it as much as possible. So now going out of this, we're going to go back to the Glendale map, the big area, and we're going to actually go over into the west side of Glendale. Now, as you come over here, you start getting to the entertainment district of Westgate. And you can see right here, you have the Desert Diamond Valley Casino, which is huge. We're going to talk about that in a second, as well as State Farm Stadium and the whole Westgate area. This is a ton of shopping, a ton of entertainment. This is what people know about when they come to Glendale for the most part, because when they're visiting, don't live there, that's the area they're going to go, this Westgate entertainment area. Okay, more on that in just a second. And then as you keep making your way out west, you get to some more residential area. You're surrounded by the Litchfield Park area, but then you have Luke Air Force Base, and Luke Air Force Base is actually its own address, not necessarily part of the city of Glendale, but it is a phenomenal U.S. Air Force Base that trains fighter jet pilots. So you do have some noise at certain times when they're taking off certain directions, this way and to the north. But they get up in the air quick, and then of course they try to obviously not do the afterburners and all that stuff, but there are certain times they do those things, those exercises. And so if you buy a house in this area, we will notify you, give you that disclaimer to make sure you know if you're in that flight path or not. Okay, now we're gonna talk about some entertainment areas, and then we're gonna go to housing and end it with my favorite subdivision in probably all of Glendale, if not one of the top 5 in all of Phoenix. That's pretty unique. So here we go. Number 1 on our list for entertainment areas, things to do, is going to be in the Westgate area. You guessed it, that's going to be State Farm Stadium right here in this area. It is phenomenal. It's called the Big Toaster Oven for a reason, because it is all silver basically, and it reflects all of the sunlight that we get with the heat in the area. But you can see it has a ton of parking. It has a area where the grass actually rolls out right here and actually gets natural sunlight. Then it rolls back in the stadium on game day or for whatever the event is. Pretty cool. And then right over here, you have a huge Top Golf that is newer, right across the interstate right here. That is a big entertainment area. Then you have the Andretti Indoor Karting and Games, which is coming to Glendale. That's going to be cool. So this is a big entertainment district. Now you do have some places to stay. You have a Holiday Inn here. You have a Renaissance right over here hotel. And Hiltons and all kinds of stuff. There's a Renaissance, and then you have the Westgate area. Now, while we're here, I'm just going to go right now to number 2. That way we won't have to move around too much, and that is going to be the Desert Diamond Arena, which is right here. So this is the old arena where the Arizona Coyotes used to play. Now they have since been sold to Salt Lake City, and we no longer have an NHL hockey team. But there are a lot of concerts here and a lot of really good reviews when it comes to the area. So if I pull my guy out here and we sit right there, let's see if we can hang on and get the street view of what it looks like in this Westgate area. There's Renaissance Hotel, there's Desert Diamond Arena, where a lot of concerts are, rodeos, a lot of fun stuff. And then right across the street, you guessed it, is the Big Toaster Oven, State Farm Stadium, home of the Arizona Cardinals for the NFL. it is a great place to watch a game there. Honestly, it is, guys. And the roof retracts, the whole 9 yards. So on nice days, it's really nice to have that come in. When it's really hot out, you can have it in, you have it closed, and of course you have air conditioning. Then you have the parking lot, ton of parking around here. And then again, this Westgate area. Now, if I go back out of here and reposition my little guy over here, let's show you the entertainment district, because this is fun. Get into this area right here, and it's really cool. So you have the Westgate area. You can see, Buffalo Wild Wings right here. Of course, who doesn't like that? But you have so many restaurants. More than you could even shake a stick at walking through this Westgate area. So if I just kind of walk you through this little bit here, we'll give you the bird's eye view. I'll do it for you so you don't have to mess with it. There's AMC theaters. And again, as you come down here, there's just more and more restaurants. Okay. All the way coming down through here, coming down into Westgate. We got the first point of view, first person right here, all kinds of stuff. And then of course you have the piano bars down here. You have all kinds of stuff, double decks. You just have a ton of options of restaurants to choose from right here in Westgate. And then as you come out to this area, you're going to have more and more to look at. And there's a chicken and pickle, which is awesome. You got to love that. That's a big place to go to when it's game day. Holds a lot of people. And then of course you have more parking on this side. So if I get out of here, that's the Westgate area. So we covered right now, guys, is this Westgate area right here, which is a ton of things going on. Twin Peaks over here. You have the Tanger Outlets. Now that was going to be like later on my list, but because it's all compacted right here in the Westgate area, let's go and talk about the Tanger Outlets. Now in these Tanger Outlets, you have amazing stores like Nike and Banana Republic and Calvin Klein, Ralph Lauren, Michael Kors, Polo, and the list goes on and on. There's some really good stores here. So if you have a chance to do some good shopping and you want to be in this entertainment area, you can do some shopping, you get some food, plenty of options there, some coffee, of course, maybe an adult beverage if you're looking for that. Then you can go to the concert here or the sports event here or at Desert Diamond Arena if it's a smaller one. And then of course you can get some indoor karting and some games and or some golf at Top Golf. Now, let's talk about this for a second, because this right here, guys, is going to change the game for the city of Glendale. This is the VAI Resort and the Mattel Amusement Park right through here. Now, fun fact about Phoenix is that for some reason we don't have a large Six Flags amusement park type deal. So we'll be blessed to have the Mattel Amusement Park with 2 different roller coasters. One is a Hot Wheels, and I'm excited to take my kids there and myself, if I can admit that, as soon as this is ready to go. Okay, now this resort is scheduled to open here later in 2025, but it's been pushed back twice already, so hopefully it won't be pushed in 2026. But here are just some of the things it will include. It's going to include an 11,000 seat amphitheater. It's going to have 5 acres of sandy beaches, a party island and spa and wellness center, luxury boutiques, and 12 restaurants, not one, 12, anchored by a steakhouse with views of that amphitheater stage if you want to get a steak and watch the show. And a couple other things it's going to have. This is really cool, guys. Not just will it have 1,100 hotel rooms, but it'll have 50,000 square feet of European-inspired party island called Konos Island, and the Konos Sky Bar that offers food and drinks served at 130 feet in the air. That's an experience. It'll have tethered hot air balloon rides where passengers can view desert mountain vistas from 400 feet above the ground. It'll also have crystal lagoons with its own beach right there. So instead of actually going to the real beach, you can go to the man-made beach right here in Glendale. How cool is that? Oh, one more thing regarding Westgate I want to cover as a beautiful thing to do is Bar Louie in the Westgate area. We have it right here, and it is a phenomenal place. It's kind of a unique place that you want to check out if you have a chance. Now, I'm going to drop my guy right here, and let's see if we can see a little Bar Louie action from bird's eye first person view. I don't know if we're going to get it, but it's right in this area, right over here. So unfortunately I won't be able to see it unless I just move a little bit here, which I guess I could always do. But there's a picture of Bar Louie and some of the entertainment it has to offer. But this is just a unique bar that you should check out if you're in Glendale. Next, going up to the northern Glendale, we have the Thunderbird Conservation Park, which is up here in this mountainous area. So you have some really good hiking like we showed you earlier on the satellite view here, but you have this conservation park, there it is, that offers some good hiking anywhere from 2 miles to 8 miles or whatever you make out of it. So if you're into hiking, this is a great place to visit. Okay, now next on the list for things to do in Glendale is going to be the Desert Diamond Casino. So as you come back down to the Westgate area, right off of the interstate, you guessed it, it's right there. Now this is huge. It's hard to imagine how big this casino really is, get a feel for it until you actually are there. But this is a huge area right in this mix. And if I layer this here, you can see just how big it is to an extent, but it is enormous. Now, here at the casino, you're going to have entertainment, dining, hotel, shopping, sports book, you name it. And it's all right in this huge area of land right off the 101 by the Westgate area of Glendale. So if you're a gambler, that's a great place to go check out for some fun besides just gambling as well. Now, this is Arizona, so I'd be remiss if I didn't mention spring baseball because the Cactus League is right here in Glendale. So the Los Angeles Dodgers and the Chicago White Sox play at Camelback Ranch, which is right there, as you can see, in just the west side of the Glendale area. So that's a great place to watch a game. It is actually a newer field. You can see a picture right there on Google Maps. And of course, LA won the World Series last year. So the media following this past spring was intense. It was crazy watching Shohei Ohtani and the rest of the crew there with the Dodgers. So that's a great place to go watch a game if you're in town for spring training baseball. Now, last but not least, this is not a place to go visit for a thing to do, but this is a noteworthy place to talk about in Glendale. And that's going to be the Arizona State University West Campus, as well as the Glendale Community College, because when it comes to higher education, Glendale has that to offer as well. So first and foremost, we have ASU in the West Campus, because ASU is one of the largest universities in all of America. So they have multiple campuses, especially throughout the Phoenix area. The main campus is in Tempe, but the West Campus is right here in Glendale, and it's huge, guys. It is actually larger than the one in Tempe, I think, by land mass, and it has a lot of land over here that they could develop on as well. But it is more of the agricultural side of things for the campus, but there's a lot going on right here in ASU West. Next on the list is Glendale Community College. If you're looking for a 2-year degree, something a little more informal, then Glendale Community College is actually one of the larger community colleges in all of Arizona. Now, Arizona has a large junior college or community college league, a presence of those type of colleges for sports, for academics, you name it. And Glendale is one of the larger ones. So this is a good place to actually, if you're looking for maybe the chance to play sports at the next level, but not good enough to go to maybe a higher level, Division I, Division II, or maybe the grades need to be worked on, that sort of thing. Or maybe you just want to commute to get your education as opposed to living in a big campus at a dorm, then this is a great option for you here at Glendale Community College, located right off of 59th Avenue and Olive, right there in the heart of Glendale. I hope you're enjoying this video about Glendale. We put a lot of time and research into each video, so you're fully informed. If you don't mind just hitting the like button or smashing that subscribe button, we would greatly appreciate it. Okay, so now let's talk housing. Housing, you can see right here in the city of Glendale, you have that L, that backwards L we talked about, and there is plenty to choose from. Matter of fact, there are 806 properties right now in Glendale. If we go to single family residences, that 806 goes down to 632, because you do have some obviously condos and townhouses and properties like that, but still a good amount to choose from all across the board. So now it's interesting, if you go HOA, you have about half of those properties that are in HOA and that are not in the city of Glendale. Now, I know a lot of people are conflicted on having an HOA or not when they have a house they own. So you can see right here that there are 358 that actually have HOAs. Then if you go to no, you have about 274 that do not. So a good amount do not. And you can notice that typically the older properties don't have the HOA. So you can see the older area, the historical area, the older area of Glendale right in here, more of the inner city type area, is more prone to not have HOAs because the homes and the neighborhoods were developed a long time ago. Now, if you take this off and you go to yes, back to where we were, you have 358. Look at the cluster up in North Glendale. You have a little more there. And then around the stadium where the Cardinals play in the Westgate area, you have newer construction there, more track homes, production homes. And so you have HOAs. Let's take that off and dive into price points. So what kind of price points are we talking about? If you are under $1 million, how many homes does that give you? 605. So a lion's share of the properties are under $1 million in Glendale. That's good for affordability. Now let's go under 500,000. How many properties are available currently for 500,000? 330. Okay. So what if we go under 300,000? How many are available? Okay, there are 3. So this is what you get. You can see they're in the kind of downtown historic area of Glendale. What do you get for under $300,000 as a single family house in Glendale? Well, let's pick one of these. Let's go to 299, the one on Kime. This is 6627 West Kime. And let's just see what you get. Well, you get 1,153 square feet, a 2-bedroom, 1 bath with an office. Okay, there's that 3 right there. And it's in the Maryville Terrace subdivision, and you get that kind of a property. Now, here are the photos. Let's look through these because this could be, I think, interesting or enlightening, however you want to look at it. Okay, there's the property. Not bad, very more affordable, but the home is older and needs probably a little bit of updating throughout. So that's what you're going to get with a backyard that needs some work. And again, looking at when this property is built, 1960. Now let's hear this one here on Maryland, probably the same type of era. 1979, a little bit newer, but a 3-bedroom, 2-bath for $277. And again, neither one of these have garages. So let's go back out and let's go to the mid-range. If I want a property to say that I can afford between, $500,000 and $550,000, what does that get you in Glendale? Well, I'm glad you asked, because we're going to show you here. There are 73 between $500,000 and $550,000. So let's just go down to, $515,000 and narrow this down a little bit. You have 17 properties. So let's see what that kind of gives us. You can see by the thumbnails here, the pictures, the homes get a lot nicer. Here's a 4-bedroom, 2-bath for $500,000, 2,148 square feet. Now, with that, you get a 2-car garage, a home built in 2016, and let's peek at some of the photos. Let's go through this really quick. You see what you're getting. The home is virtually staged, but not truthfully staged. Some upgrades, some builder standard stuff, and the location of where you will be on the map is going to be in that south to west area of Glendale. Let's pick one up here north of Bell Road. This is 515 on Campbell Drive. What do you get for up here? Get a house built in 1988. Okay. Does it have an HOA? It does not. That's kind of good for some people. Okay. And you have a garage space of 2 for 2,034 square feet. Now, this seller is offering a 2-1 rate buy down with the purchase of the property at $515,000. That's interesting. Okay. Helps you get your payment down much lower. Okay. Now let's go back here and let's go to the high end. We're above $1 million. Okay. How many properties are above $1 million in Glendale currently? There are 27. If you notice, they're on bigger lots out here by Luke Air Force Base in the west side, or they're going to be in the north Glendale area. Well, let's pick one of these houses in the Arrowhead area. Okay. This one's 3.9, and look at that. It's on the water. So 3.9. Let's see the list view here. They start a lot cheaper at $1 million. Okay. And that one's on the water too. But if you want to go the high end here, they go up to $5 million, but let's go 3.9. What do you get for that? Well, you get 6,500 square feet, 6 bedrooms, 5.5 bathrooms with a total of 9 bedrooms or, office bonus rooms. You have 2 stories. You have a 3-car garage, a home built in 2001. What do the photos look like? We know the map says. What do the photos look like on this? Well, let's check it out, guys. You're seeing this real time with me. That is a beautiful picture. Stunning sunset. Now, this may not be on the water actually after all. It looks like it's a hillside lot, and that's exactly what it is. But you do have a tennis court as well as a grassy area and some elevation on the lot. So you have some phenomenal views. So that's pretty cool. All right. So you see that. And of course, you can go more expensive than that. But what if we want something on the water? Let's go back here. And what is that going to be worth? Okay. I'm going to get my cursor out of the way. We're going to zoom in here. You guys have seen this real time with me. We're going to go in here on the water because that, guys, listen, at the end of the day, Arrowhead Lakes, this is a spoiler alert, is one of my favorite subdivisions in all of Phoenix. Okay. And for $1.3 million, you can have a house on the water. But what does that get you? Let's check it out. 1.2 Rose Garden right here. What does that look like up in Arrowhead? Well, you're going to be 5 bedrooms, 3 bathrooms, home built in 1998 on the water with 3-car garage. All right, let's look at the photos. How good is this water lot? And of course, you can have a paddle boat. I think there are some mechanized or motorized, I should say, boats allowed on this lake. I will double check that for you. If you have any questions, let me know. I can get all this information. But this is remodeled. This is nice. Look at this, guys. This is nice. Now, again, I know it's $1.3 million, so this is not super cheap compared to a lot of properties across America from wherever you may be watching. But this is a nice property. And of course, you're paying a little extra, most likely because you're on the water. But some of these water views from your house are amazing. Now, being in the desert, you would never think you would have a property like this, but that's your view from the backyard looking out. That is pretty cool. And of course, you can see by the map, it goes all the way around and winds throughout this whole neighborhood of Arrowhead Lake. So if you have any questions on Arrowhead Lakes or affordable properties that are in the $300,000 range or high-end properties that are in the multi-million-dollar range, we would love to help you out. And I hope the map video really gave you a sense of where things are located throughout the Glendale area and how it flows and what area of Glendale you may want to live in. By the way, comment below and let us know, what area would you want to live in if you're going to choose Glendale as your next city to live in. I hope you enjoyed the video of Glendale and all the little things that come with it so you're fully informed. Call us at 480-660-5974 or go ahead and book a time on the Calendly link below. We really appreciate your time and don't forget to ever call.